Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show today. Now, we have a super special training, guys. We're going to be going into how to turn content into sales. Now, with this TikTok challenge, I've been pushing you guys to create content, and that's a huge step, especially if you've never created content in your life. But now that you start creating content, how can we create content that actually turns into sales, right? Now, again, when you're just starting out, I just want you to create content. I don't really care what you create, but now I want you guys to understand how can we create content that is turning into actual money. Okay, so guys, we have this a really special couple coming in today. So they started their business, their affiliate marketing business, in July of 2020. One of them, so Ryan, actually lost his job in February 2020, and he went into drop shipping and very quickly realized that drop shipping wasn't for him. And they went all in with their affiliate marketing business in July of 2020. And from then they went into six figures. They started in July and they went to six figures in just 8 months. So guys, I want to introduce Megan and Ryan Hobbs. What's going on, guys?
How's it going, Jonathan?
What's going on? I'm super excited to have you guys on. We already got a lot of people that were already in the weight room already here. So guys, drop in a hashtag live if you guys are on live, if you guys are excited for Megan and Ryan. I'm super excited for you guys to talk about, turning content into actual sales. Now, guys, give me just a quick rundown, a quick 1 or 2 minute about your guys' story, and then we'll get into the actual content.
Sure. So, like you said, it started out last February. I lost my job, unpandemic related. Before I got home, after I called Megan and told her I lost my job, before I got home, sitting on the couch chatting with her, she'd already found 5 or 6 places for me to put my application in or go turn resumes in. And, we were obviously worried about what we were going to do. We were a 2-income household. So I'd been actually surfing around on TikTok for probably 6 to 8 months before that actually had happened. And I had seen different ways or different people talking about making money online. And I thought, you know what, I'm a fairly intelligent individual. I can surely figure this out if all these other people are figuring this out. If regular people can do this. So I mentioned that to Megan. And of course, I can still remember the look in her face. And she kind of laughed and she goes, yeah, you still remember we have bills to pay, right? And so I'm like, I get it. I know what our responsibilities are, but this is something I really want to try. So she was very supportive. I jumped right into drop shipping, bought a course because I had done a little bit of research and I thought, well, this is something I can get behind, something easy that I can do, So I took a course in drop shipping, got a Shopify store up, started running ads. Long story short, a few $1,000s later, pandemic comes. We're trying to ship stuff from China. It's sitting on a boat out somewhere, 8 weeks. I got upset people. Yeah. We got customer support issues coming out the rear end there. Chargebacks are happening. So after about 3 or 4 months, it kind of fizzled out. It just really wasn't working out well for us. So the whole time I had been seeing things about affiliate marketing. Now, for me, I had no idea what affiliate marketing was. Didn't have a clue, didn't know what it was about or anything, but I kept seeing this. So it kept sitting in the back of my mind. And so we decided to, about July, after drop shipping fizzled out, decided to check out affiliate marketing and see what it was about and start learning about it. So I actually did that without even chatting with Megan, because I was scared that she was going to all right, you played around at home enough for the last 5 months. It's time to get to work, go get a job, Yeah. And so I started looking into it, started learning some things. That's when I brought her into it. I'm like, man, I really think we could do well with this. Yeah. And so she started looking at some of the trainings that we were looking at, or that I was looking at. And that's when we decided to kind of team up on this and go. And so for about 3 months, we built our funnels. We did all the back end stuff. We set up an autoresponder, all the basic stuff, but we really weren't seeing any success. We'd made a few dollars here and there, but it wasn't anything major. And so it was like, all right, what do we got to do to really get going with this? And a big part of it was, which is awesome that you do this content creation challenge, because that was actually what got us held up. That's what, with me, I was scared to get behind the camera. I was scared to create the content. And I'll be honest, I admit that freely now, because it really was what my biggest struggle was with getting this thing started. And so what had happened was I reached out to somebody who's become a mentor of ours. And matter of fact, I think I even reached out to you in those early days, and we had some conversations about some stuff. But it was really getting on to creating that content daily and getting past that fear of getting in front of the camera and creating that content is really what got us started. Once I made up my mind that, all right, I'm going to start creating this content, 3 or 4 pieces of content a day is what I want to post, and that's my goal. Once we figured that out and started doing that, that's when the rocket ship kind of took off. Yeah. And within just a few months, we were seeing some major success. But the bridge between creating that content and getting those sales, it came down to messaging and a few other things. And that's what we're hopefully going to be talking about here today is how to take that content. Just creating content is one thing.
Yeah, right.
Turning that content into conversions and sales, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really excited to have you guys on, because, again, the goal of this whole traffic challenge is just to get people to start creating. But once you get to a certain point, it's like, okay, well, now I got to start making money. So I'm really, really excited to see what you guys do to, transition from just creating content to, having specific hooks and messaging to turn that into sales. But yeah, about your drop shipping, it's kind of funny because it was kind of the same thing with me. I started the drop shipping and I kind of failed at that, or pretty much failed at that. And when I started affiliate marketing, because I transitioned as well, it was embarrassing to tell my wife, like, hey, I'm going to start this. So it was kind of funny because you mentioned like you kind of did it without telling her. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, so with this training, I know you guys want to do like interactive training, so we can do like questions as we go. However you guys want to do that, it'll be kind of you guys can ask questions if you guys are in the comments, and go ahead and just start and let's do it.
Yeah. So for those that are here and in the comments, we welcome your comments. We welcome your questions as we're talking today. Not to say anything bad against anybody else that's been here on the trainings and things like that. But me personally, it's been the information's been great. But me personally, I'm not a guy that likes sitting and watching PowerPoints and slideshows. So Megan and I do things a little bit different when we work with our clients. It's more of a conversation type of a training situation. Yep. That's how we work, rather than go through slideshows. So you guys are more than welcome to ask us questions in the comments. We'll be happy to answer them. Yep. But really, how we got going is, like we talked about, messaging is kind of key for us. And we learned very early on,
stumbled upon it, actually.
We stumbled upon it because we kept hearing, just like everybody else, everybody's like, provide value, provide value, provide value. Just start helping people and the money will come. Don't worry about the commissions, just start helping people.
Let's take a step back. When you guys are creating content, keep in mind, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, however you're going to create content, you're not teaching in a 15-second video. It's not going to happen, right? Yeah. But we use those platforms for discoverability. And we use those platforms to then take people into like a Facebook group or onto our YouTube channel or something like that.
Right.
Okay. So that's very important to first remember.
Yes.
And we don't want to teach in comments or in things like that on the videos.
Yeah. It's very difficult to do that, especially when, and we get comments all the time about, well, you didn't really show us anything. That's right. We want to get you into a conversation. We want to get you into a comment, into a DM or into a Facebook group where we can have a chance to kind of nurture you and provide value to you that way. So, we got to remember that like platforms like TikTok, people are on those platforms for entertainment. They're not there necessarily to learn how to start an online business or to get into affiliate marketing. Chances are most people that are on TikTok are at a 9-to-5 that they're, it's a toxic 9-to-5 they're tired of or whatever. And they're taking a break away from that life and getting on TikTok to be entertained. So if I can come across their For You page and grab their attention, which I've only got a couple of seconds to do that, and that's where that hook comes into play. But if I can grab their attention within a couple of seconds and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Hey, this guy's talking about making money and working from home. Man, that'd be great because I hate my job that I'm at right now. How do I do that? So now they say, hey, I like this guy. I'm going to start following him, or I'm going to comment on one of his videos and see if he reaches out. That's how we, with the content we create, that's our goal. our goal in our content is not necessarily to pull up a screen and go through a flow chart and things like that. Yeah, that's great. That is providing value. But again, you have to remember that these short platforms like TikTok, you only have a few seconds. If your average watch time is only 6 to 8 seconds, then you can't really provide a whole lot of value in that 6 to 8 seconds. Your goal is just to try to capture their attention and then get them either into a comment or a direct message so that you can start chatting with them and sharing your story and start to develop that relationship.
Yeah.
So, and I just had a question for you guys. So, so essentially when you're creating this content, are you trying to, like, do you get them to a link? Is that your main goal, or do you want to get them into your group or your YouTube or DM? Like, what's your number one call to action?
So go ahead.
For me, and I think he'll agree with this too. So the goal for us is to get them into our direct messages. Okay. We reach out to them. Hey, this is what we're doing. Like if they've commented, great, cool. We'll follow them back. We'll send them a direct message, have a little conversation. We'll get more into detail about that here in a minute, guys, but we'll have a conversation with them. Our goal is really to get them into our Facebook group.
Yep.
And it's a free Facebook group. And we've got free resources in there, because in there, that's where we can really nurture that audience, because they are a red hot freaking customer. If they haven't bought, or they're bought and they're going to buy more from you, because we're building that relationship and they're trusting you at this point. Does that make sense? Is this resonating with everybody? Give it like a thumbs up.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, type in a hashtag makes sense if that makes sense. That's huge, because I think what a lot of people try to do is like, hey, go to the link, go to the link, go to the link. Where you guys are like, hey, go to the YouTube group or Facebook group, go to the YouTube channel. Like now it can actually nurture the audience. And that's huge. Like I absolutely agree with that. So awesome. Gotta make sense.
Just like you did, John, I'm pretty sure you started out with Legendary, and I'm sure a lot of the people that are in here started out know Legendary. So, we get asked all the time how we got started. So most of the time, that's where we'll point somebody to the link that's in our bio, and that's what we keep in there. But we really don't drive the traffic to that link. That's one of the things with our clients. We always tell them, don't use link in bio. Don't say the link's in the bio, click on. No, don't do that. All right. Have other options for them. Facebook group, like Megan said, it's it's an amazing way to nurture that audience that you're going to have. And so a lot of times you'll see me doing videos. You'll notice we've got our Facebook group cover on our screen back here. That's how I do some of our videos. Is I'll have that on the back screen and I'll kind of be pointing at it, and I'll put a circle around the name and things like that, because TikTok doesn't necessarily like the verbiage, putting on there, hey, go follow us on Instagram, hey, go follow us on Facebook. So I try to find other ways to do it visually, and so they'll see that piece of content like, oh, wait a minute, Megan and Ryan have a Facebook group, this is the name of it, I'll go check that out. So we can kind of do that without saying it in our videos. So again, we do drive a lot of traffic to the Facebook group, but again, the goal is to message people. So kind of taking another step back, when we first started, we struggled in the beginning because we weren't getting conversions. We were worried about, well, we're not making any money, we're not getting any conversions, and we were kind of hung up on that. And finally, I can still remember the conversation. Megan and I were having dinner one night. And we were kind of beaten down, we were kind of tired, and we're like, man, we're just not seeing, this isn't really working for us. What are we doing wrong? And we both kind of came to the same conclusion. It was like, look, everybody keeps telling us, just provide value and help people, and the money will follow. Stop worrying about the money and do that. And so we made kind of a pact to each other that if somebody reached out to us, whether in a comment or anything, email, whatever, if they asked us a question, by gosh, we were going to answer that question. Mm-hmm. We were going to help them to the best of our knowledge. And really, honestly, that's when things kind of took a turn for us, was being able to help those people and stop worrying about that. And then, as everybody told us, if you focus on helping people and providing that value, the money will come. Now, in the beginning, I was like, look, this is a business. You got to worry about the money, right? How else do businesses run? They're in business to make money, right? How does this work? And I still can't fully explain it, but I know that it works. And if you focus on, helping people and providing that value, the money follows. And
our clients are seeing the same thing.
Yeah. So
people we help are seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
And so what we would do, honestly, when we first got started, and so when we made that pact, I was like, all right, somebody reaches out, I'm going to help them. So that meant we were getting on Zoom calls we were getting on free Zoom calls with people just to answer questions. We were constantly in emails. We were constantly in Messenger. We were constantly in DMs chatting with people. And that's when we started providing that value and helping people, that's when the money started to come in. And that's how we grew so quickly. We actually used to host an event, Megan and I did. We called it Wine at 9. And how this actually came about was we were doing our TikTok lives, okay? And we would generally do them late at night. And what we were finding is big heavy hitters like Brian Brewer, AJ Rance, Daryl Gray Jr., all these guys were coming into our lives at night. Yeah. And we wound up just having like crazy off the wall conversations, like chicken fryer or chicken wings and air fryers, talking about this stuff. And so we weren't able to really help the people that were coming into our lives to learn, right? Yeah. So we came up with this idea. It was like, hey guys, would you like to get on like a Zoom call and just kind of have a conversation? This is the first time we'd ever met these guys. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. So we did it. And it became a thing where we called it Wine at 9. We had it every 2 weeks. These guys would come in and we were kind of sharing our story about what we were doing. We're like, yeah, I'm getting on Zoom calls probably 10, 15 times a week with people. And they're like, you're crazy. You're spending that much time doing that. And in DMs, you're trying to answer every comment. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you don't have time for that. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to help people. This is what we're trying to do. This is how we're doing it. And it kind of came full circle when it was like, all right, they're seeing the success because they're in the DMs. They're talking with people. They're spending time on a Zoom call with somebody for a $2 or $3 commission, right? But you never know when you're talking with someone. When somebody first reaches out to you, you never know what kind of prospect they're going to be, as far as, are they going to be a high ticket client or not? You don't know that. So if you can provide that value, now I will say this, you got to kind of learn to hone it in and only be on those calls for, 15 minutes or so. Cause I've got caught up before where I've, provided supposed to be a 15-minute call for somebody, and an hour and a half later, we're still chatting about things. You got to kind of be aware of that and kind of set those boundaries. But that's really kind of where it starts. It starts in that messaging, and it all goes back to building that relationship and that trust with your audience. And a lot of times, to be honest, when people are surfing around on TikTok and they're looking to figure these things out, and they see Jonathan on there, or they see Megan and Ryan on there, we're in some sort of status. They think that, if they message us, we're not going to get back with them. So many people are surprised when you send a message back to somebody and actually answer the message. Like, whoa, wow, didn't really expect a response from you guys. That kind of helps build that trust and that relationship. And then, man, if you're willing to get on a Zoom call with somebody for just 10 minutes and answer a couple of questions about, is this real? Hey, I'm skeptical about this. Does this actually work? Those people look at that and then trust you so much more if you're willing to take that 10 minutes and hop on a call with them and talk with them.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, like, at the end of the day is, like, people, they just need help, right? Like, yes, there's courses, there's these challenges, but that's why there's these affiliates that can give that extra coaching, right? And that's why I think, you guys probably have your own coaching when someone buys an affiliate product, correct? Because that's the extra support, it's the extra bonus that people actually need. And that's huge. I think people need to realize that. I think everyone thinks they could just create content, send them to a link, and that's it, right? You can, but with you guys, that's why you're turning your content into, high ticket commissions, right? Because you're going that extra step and you're DMing people and you're getting on calls. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. So,
yeah. And another thing that we see people do is they're so apt to, even if you do have a video that takes off and you get a lot of comments, people still have that mentality that they can just, comment back, hey, click the link in my bio, or hey, here's the link, go check it out, things like that. You have to build a conversation with someone. You can't just expect that as soon as the first thing right out of the gate is sending somebody to a link or trying to get that sale. You have to build that rapport with them, talk with them, build that relationship. And again, you can do that in a Facebook group. You can do it in DMs and in comments, but do it by, like Megan's saying, creating that conversation. Don't just go straight for a sale. Shoot, open up a conversation with just asking somebody how they are. How are you doing? Something simple like that. resonate also with their story. You know, a lot of people will open up to you when you start that conversation and tell you about their life and their situation. And basically what they're doing is they're talking about their pain points. And that is when we start creating our content. We talk about creating content that hits pain points. When they start opening up in a conversation about their pain points, now that's when we can really use that information and we can affirm that with them. We can, you know, we can say, all right, so what do you want to do to get out of that situation? What do you want to do to spend more time with your family? What do you want to do to actually make more money? You know, ask them those questions and kind of resonate with them. And through that type of messaging, that power gives you the ability to convert those types of sales.
And this goes not for just, you know, the make money online niche, guys. This is also, I mean, if you're into like that, you know, health, keto, whatever, doesn't matter. You're still going to want to hit those pain points, and you're still going to want to figure out what your potential customers' why is. Because when we can make them verbalize or type out their why, it makes them think about it more consciously and be like, oh crap, I really do need what this person is offering.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And I've seen your guys' content. You guys really dive deep, right? Because I think a lot of people will create content like, hey, you want to learn affiliate marketing? Hey, you want to make more money? But with your content, you guys talk about the pain, right? You get deep into the pain of what's going on, right? Like, you know, are you tired of being stuck in traffic? Are you tired of, you know, having to work 60 hours, right? Like you're getting into the pain instead of like, hey, do you just want to make money, right? Of course, we all want to make money, but what's the actual pain? And I love how you mention that, especially with your content. But you also, when you get into conversations, right, you also you try to dig deep into that pain, correct?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big part of it. So we've talked with people, and we've had some of our clients, you know, say, hey, you know, they're creating content. We'll ask them, okay, who are you targeting in your content? Who are you looking for to hit? I'm looking to hit everybody. Wrong. You have to kind of focus on who it is that you're actually going after, who your target, you know, we've heard this before. Who is your ideal avatar? You know, and most of the time, you know, in the make money online niche, that avatar is us. It's us individually. So I can sit down and I can go through, okay, when I had my 9 to 5, what were my pain points? The fact that I was overworked. I didn't get to spend enough time with my family. We barely had enough money to take a decent vacation once a year, or let alone the vacation time to be able to take a decent vacation. You know, you start to think about all those things. Okay, now I've got an idea of who it is that I'm trying to target with my content. So now I can hit those pain points. And like Megan said, when you hit those pain points and then you get somebody to vocalize that, that's when they're like, oh crap, yes, I do need to do something to make a change. You know, as opposed to somebody that's just, you know, if you're trying to just hit everybody, you're going to miss everybody. You know, if you focus on those pain points and your target audience, that's when you're also going to, with that content, you're going to have better conversions. You're going to have more people that are going to reach out, that are going to comment on that video so that you can then create that conversation.
Right.
You're right. And go ahead, Megan, go ahead.
There was a question I want to get to. I want to answer fast. Somebody asked, where do you usually have conversations at via TikTok? Instagrams? Do you offer your free Zoom call once they're in your Facebook group? That's going to vary. So a lot of our conversations happen in the DMs of TikTok. Yes, you guys have to go in and follow each other. Doesn't matter. That's fine. It's okay. You can follow up to 10,000 people on TikTok, guys. That's and the algorithm doesn't care about that. Okay, a lot of people think it doesn't. But yes, we will ask people to leave comments on our video. We'll go in and we'll say, hey, great, cool. We've sent you a DM, our direct message, and then we'll go in there and, like Ryan said, we start a conversation. It doesn't matter what the content was of the video. If they've left a comment, the first thing that we're going to say is, hey, how's it going? And they may come back with something like, oh, it's been okay, or actually it's been kind of shitty. Crappy, you know, my bad, y'all. Or I need to do this. Oh, you know, that's, you know, sorry to hear that. You know, are you interested in affiliate marketing, or have you heard of affiliate marketing?
Yeah.
And then it's a conversation from there,
Yeah.
right? And again, those conversations happen in our DMs.
Right. We also have those conversations in the Facebook group. You know?
Yeah.
But the other thing is that the other part of that question was, do you offer your free Zoom calls there? It really depends on the conversation. You got to gauge, each conversation is going to be a little bit different. Now, you're also going to, with me saying that, you're also going to find that probably about 90% of your conversations are going to follow the same path. It's going to be the same questions. You're going to have, similar answers, but you're going to get those people, like I mentioned earlier, that say, well, I'm skeptical, or, hey, I've tried this before, I've tried that before, or, I just am worried if this is going to work. Usually when you get those types of questions, that's a great opportunity to offer up that Zoom call. If you're in a conversation and somebody says, hey, I'm skeptical, or, I really don't know if this works, or, hey, I've tried something like this in the past and it hasn't worked, offer up that Zoom call, that free 10-15-minute Zoom call then at that point, because once you are able to get them on a one-on-one call where you can see them, they can see you, you can actually talk, then you can actually tell them more about your story a little bit. You can answer any questions that they have, because more than likely, the questions that they have are the exact same questions you had when you got started. So you've already found the answers to those questions, so you can offer those up. And a lot of times when you do that with somebody and offer that up, that eases some of the skepticism and the worries about, is this a scam or does it really work?
Yeah. And the other thing I want to add on to that is sometimes you're going to get onto Zoom calls or something like that. If you're just starting out, keep in mind, you can teach somebody for free. We're providing value, guys, right now, for free. You can teach somebody if you're 2-3 steps ahead of them. It's also okay to admit when you don't know something. That is where it also builds a lot of relationship too. You can be like, you know what, that's a great question. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my mentor or my coach or something like that, or whatever. I'm going to ask and I'm going to get back with you. And then follow up, get back with them. Now you're starting to build that relation, that trust between each other, right? So
I got a question here that at what point can you engage your potential buyer? So when somebody comments on a video, they've become a potential buyer at that point. When somebody reaches out to you, whether it's through a comment, through a DM, through a comment maybe in your Facebook group or anything, when somebody reaches out to you, that is the point where you start the engagement. Okay. Right. That's where you start engaging with them. And like Megan just said, no matter where you're at, because I saw another question on here, how did you get started doing this with the results in the very beginning, without the results in the very beginning? We've all heard this. That's that imposter syndrome. Okay. You know more because you've already taken some sort of a course. You've learned something. You know more than that that person that has just saw the word affiliate marketing today. Today was the first time they saw that. So you know more than that person. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be about results. Okay. Yes, people like seeing our results. They like seeing our proven testimonies and things like that, right? But you don't necessarily have to go that route. If you're just beginning, you can use words and terminology like, did you know it was possible to make $3,000 a week? Right. Did you know it's possible to work from home, spend more time with your family, and still clear $2,000 a week? Those are things, and those are words that you can use to create those conversations without saying, hey guys, I made $3,000 yesterday, things like that. So that's really how you go about that. I know there was another question in there. John Moore, how do you juggle dozens of conversations at once? So that's where it gets difficult. If you have a video go absolutely bonkers on you and you got, thousands of comments, it's tough to do that. But you got to just, spend the time going through those conversations. We developed what we call a script that we utilize, and we go back, and when somebody hits a certain point in a message, we'll go back and kind of look at the message again and kind of refresh ourselves with what we've talked about. There's nothing worse than just sending somebody a message without having checked to see what you've talked about before, and you either send them the exact same message, because it makes you look like you don't care about them. Yeah. So you always want to take that time and look over your conversation before you respond to somebody. But that's really, it can be difficult when you have a lot of comments to get to.
Yeah. Well, I'm writing my notes for later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Brewer is in the house.
Brewer, what's up, brother?
Yes.
It's a great question, Ryan. Do you find that helping people and talking to people actually helps you get more content ideas for future videos? Abso-flippin-lutely.
Definitely.
Because the more we talk with people, the more we discover pain points that we didn't think about, right? Like we always say, oh, you want to get out of your 9 to 5? Well, do you know how many people on our comments have been like, dude, I don't have a 9 to 5. I got a 12 to 12, or I got a 7 to 11, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know what? That's really, so maybe we niched down too much or content down too much. We need to broaden that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We got another question on here. Where do you usually drive your potential buyer to, your affiliate link or your email list? Actually, neither. When somebody first reaches out, that's where we get into a conversation, whether it's in the DMs or maybe to the Facebook group. Because you know, when we first started getting going, everybody talked about all these multiple products that they offer and things like that. Well, we all know that like TikTok, you can only put one link in your bio, right? And so, you know, in our experience, we found that a direct offer in that link in your bio works a whole lot better and converts a whole lot better than if you send them to something like a link tree or a beacons page or something like that. Not that I'm knocking those, okay? But you know, what was it they always say? A confused buyer doesn't buy, right? So if you can use a direct link in there, but with a direct link, how do you offer multiple products? Well, that's where you nurture that audience in a Facebook group. And then somebody comes in there and you can start to show them, you can offer them your mini course on affiliate marketing, which has affiliate links in it. Or you can have a guides tab that shows them all the different steps that they need to take. And guess what? It's chock full of affiliate links for different offers for things that they may need or something like that. So that's really where we do that. And then again, the email list, once they come into a Facebook group and we've gotten an email from them, then we can start to, you know, promote different products through our email lists and things like that. But again, the idea is taking them from that content that you create to a platform that you can kind of, you know, nurture them and get them in other areas and provide that value. Because again, we're not necessarily providing that value in a 6, 8, 15-second video. Yeah. We got to do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, that's huge. That's huge for sure. And that's why your conversions are so much higher because of the process you take them through. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We get this next question a ton. It's how do you deal with people trying to call you out as a scammer in your comments? I love them.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, there's
okay. First of all, first rule, you're not going to try. The goal of this is not to try to convince anybody, because if they already have that mindset, you're not going to convince them. But what does the algorithm want? Interaction.
Engagement. Yeah.
Engagement.
So yeah. You're going to have two types of people that are doing that. One's a keyboard warrior, which is just going to, you know, they're going to hide behind their keyboard and they're going to type something up. You know, as soon as you respond to that, boom, they're gone. They're out of here. They didn't expect that. They didn't expect you to respond to their comment, right? The other type is somebody that will banter kind of back and forth with you. If they say something negative and you come back and you say no, and you prove or you give them a statement as to, you know, why they might be incorrect or something about that, they're going to come back and they're going to have a rebuttal. And that can go back and forth. And like Megan says, all that is engagement. So a lot of times if we get somebody like that we're commenting back and forth with, I always end my comments with, thanks for the comment. Yeah. By the way, thanks for the comment, you know, but they don't understand that all they're doing is really just driving up the engagement on that video. So we will do that. Now, if you get to a point where somebody gets out of hand or belligerent or something like that, that's at the point where we block them and we don't worry about it anymore. We move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you guys, I'm just curious, do you guys ever reply to those scammer comments? Like I will personally do that. That seems to drive a lot of engagement. Like someone will say something and I'll do a TikTok reply to it and I'll get a lot more engagement on that. So I
yeah,
comments.
We do. We respond to those, you know, we respond to all of them.
Yeah.
There was a question, I think it kind of went up on us there. There it is. What is the answer to those who ask about how much money we earn from this? So our response to that is, what difference is it going to make?
Yeah.
Just because we show you what we've made doesn't mean that you're going to put in the work or the effort to get to that point that we are. So, you know, that's really how we kind of respond to that. Our results make no difference to you other than the fact that we can say that, yeah, we've made this. how much work are you going to put into this to get to that point?
Yeah. The other way that you can respond to that too, or that we respond to that is, you know what, when we started out, and again, these are comments, guys. We're not wanting to convert people or convince people in comments. So we just can say something like, we were able to replace a lost income, because that's what happened. For us.
Yeah.
If you're getting comments like that, or how much have you made, or whatever, something like that, like Ryan said, like, would you go and ask the CEO or ask the person that you're interviewing, like, okay, yeah, we want to give you this job. Okay, great. Well, just to make sure it's real, I need to see your bank statement to make sure that, you know, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Who does that? Like, no, who does that? So kind of play around with it. If you're not comfortable with those comments right now, okay, just skip them.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nothing says you have to answer every single one of those.
Yeah.
All right. Is it learnable? Do you use any app for your message? So we learned very early on that TikTok will put you into a TikTok timeout if you message too fast or you're commenting too fast. So sometimes that puts you in a little bit of a bind. That's where Megan and I came up with the idea. We've actually got an 800 number that we put into our bio on all of our social media platforms. So there is an app that we do utilize for somebody to be able to text us on that phone number. So, and we tell people all the time that they can text us on that number, and that helps out as well, because some people are just more comfortable with texting, pulling up their phone and just texting someone rather than doing a DM or a comment in a social media app. So yes, we do an app for that, and that's an app that we can both put on our phones, so that when one of those texts comes through, we both get notifications for them, and either one of us can respond to those.
Is that like a Google Voice or just a different app? Because I always use Google Voice for that.
We actually use a program called Grasshopper is what we use.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
We actually bought that line when we were doing our drop shipping. We needed a customer support number for people to be able to call. So we had actually gotten it for that, and it was laying there dormant. We weren't using it. And then when we started getting into the TikTok timeout a bunch, we were like, all right, what else can we do to let people be able to continue to message us? So we were like, hey, we got this number over here. Can we use it for that? And so, you know, that's what we ended up doing and turned it into that. It's worked out really well for us.
Yeah, for sure. It seems a lot more intimate for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new thing coming up now. Thanks, TikTok. How do you navigate TikTok censoring, blocking comments with certain keywords like DM or Instagram, and the buyer thinking you leave them hanging? Yeah.
So we actually figured some of that out just a couple of days ago.
One of our colleagues was like, called Ryan and it's like, hey, figured this out. You got to scroll all the way down to your comments section, tap the review, and you have to go in and approve all of them.
Yeah. So
y'all, I approved 2,000 freaking comments plus last night. I was sick to my stomach. I'm like, all these people think that we just left them hanging there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And our VA's like,
yeah. So if you guys are seeing that to where you've left a comment, so because yes, TikTok has kind of gotten a little bit censorship going on there. They don't want people to jump off the platform, so they're kind of they're censoring, you know, comments where it says, "Hey, DM," or "Hey, go over on Instagram and message us." You know, those types of comments. So they're kind of censoring those, and how they're doing that is they're basically putting those comments that you were putting in there in kind of a holding spot. And if you, like Megan said, if you open up a video and you open up your comment section and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, chances are there's a little button there that says review and approve comments. And if you click on that, it will actually show you all of your comments that they have blocked, and you can go through and you can approve those comments so that then they show through. Once we figured out what was going on and found this, like Megan said, she went through and started approving those comments. We were getting DMs like crazy coming back through because those comments were going through and people started seeing them, and then we started getting the messaging again.
I have actually never seen that, so that's new to me. So essentially, we need to go approve those if you're going and commenting back on all these people, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if you guys have a video that goes.
Yeah, it's something that's fairly new within, I would say, probably the last week or so that it's changed.
Okay,
Because we had a few of our clients were like, hey, they were showing us, they were like, hey, they're blocking our messages. We've commented on these comments and they're not here. And so we've tried through other accounts to go and look to see if we can see them, and they're just not there. Is TikTok deleting them? And we're like, this is something new. We're not really sure what's going on. And then, like I said, somebody, one of our colleagues reached out and said, hey guys, by the way, here's what's happening. This is what we just found out. So something fairly new, but yeah, be aware of it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well,
yeah, you can still use your keyword, like your keyword filters in your settings. That's fine. But we turned off our comment filters, but we still filter for keywords like the naughty words.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Do we have any pre-done messages that are copy and paste? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because our thumbs would fall off and die.
So we learned very early on that our conversations were kind of taking the same path. 90% of our conversations were following the same question and answer. So we quickly realized after we were trying to copy and paste things, that was working great for a while, but it was still kind of cumbersome. And then somebody pointed out, hey, you can use what's called keyboard shorts or keyboard replacements on an iPhone. I'm not sure what it's called on an Android. But basically where you could go in and you could type out an entire phrase and then give it just a couple of key letters or words like M1 for message 1, M2 for message 2, and it could be this whole phrase then. So when you're in your messaging on your keyboard, you can type M1 and it puts your whole phrase for message 1 in there. And so we would take our script and then embed that into a keyboard replacement in several different messages. So we could actually go through like 100 DMs within about 15 minutes, because again, most of the conversations are going along the same line. Now, with that being said, you don't want to be like a bot. You want people to think that you're putting these in here. So I wouldn't be so quick to, if somebody responds or sends a comment to you or a DM to you, and then your response is like 3 paragraphs long, I wouldn't immediately send that to them, because it's going to look like a bot put that on there. Wait a few seconds, wait a few minutes maybe before you respond to that if you've got a lengthy message. The other thing is also, just because you have a script, and I've seen a lot of people do this as well, just because you have a script doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get personal with a question. You can use part of that script maybe, but also look at the question that they ask you. There's nothing more irritating than asking a question of somebody and then you get a response back and it has nothing to do with the question that you asked. So just because you have a script, use it, but also go back and be personable. Answer maybe their particular question that's not normally in your script. You got to be more personable.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. I got another one here. And I kind of want to take this one. So when is the time to switch to pitching offer while you've been providing value the past few days or so? Okay. We don't want to pitch an offer, right? Because what we've been talking about is hitting people's pain points. We're going to give them solutions to those pain points. That's why it's so important to have that conversation with that person, figure out what they're wanting, right? So if you've got let's say, single mom who's kind of like struggling to make meat or whatever, and she's looking for something extra, well, you've already found this out because you're like, okay, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. You know what? I think I have something that's going to help you get to where you are. And it's the exact same way that I started. Here, check it out. And we'll give them the link. Now, TikTok doesn't have a clickable link, right? That's okay. But we still type out the link and we'll give it to them. Check this out. Just to let you know, it's whatever offer you're offering. This is how much it is. But I really think you're going to get a lot of value out of it. Here's the other part. You tell them, and you have to be sincere about this, guys. Allow them to come back to you with questions. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because a lot of people think that, okay, well, once I buy this, then you've checked out, I'm gone. You already got my money. You're gone now. That's not the point, right? Because you've got that as a customer now, and we're building trust. And also, you don't know what other tools that they're going to come back to you for. So they may spend the $7 on, the 3-day challenge, and that may be all they can do right there. But if you offer to keep helping and keep providing them value, then they're going to go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and apply for a credit card because I believe so much in what this guy is telling me and I like the training. So I'm going to go ahead and invest in coaching. And then I'm going to invest in ClickFunnels. And then, so do y'all see how that's starting to snowball and you're building that trust?
They keep coming back. The other thing is also I not necessarily hate using the word pitch, but we don't pitch offers. We don't convince, we don't persuade somebody that they need something. What we do, and this is why I think our conversions have been so well, we let the person figure out that they need it. We talk with them and we talk about those pain points and we talk about their situation and where they're at and how they can better that. And yes, we do offer up, say, hey, this is something that could possibly help you out with this. We let them come to the conclusion that, shoot, to continue on in life, I got to get this. When they come to that point, that's when your conversions are really going to skyrocket. When you stop trying to sell somebody something or convince or persuade them to buy something and let them figure out on their own that they need this to change their situation and improve their life, that's when your conversions start to go up.
Right.
Absolutely. That's perfect. I love it.
Let's see, we got one that says, do you allow comments that obviously leading to other offers? So
talking like the crypto things, we just block them.
Yeah. So if you get spammers in your comments, we block those. We're also very, when we're in our Facebook group, we're also very vigilant of, who's in there and what they're doing and what their purposes are. Now, I know that there are some trainings out there that teach people to join groups and go in there and start DMing people. For us, we don't necessarily live by that. We don't like that a whole lot. So we're very vigilant in our Facebook group that if we see stuff like that going on, and we even tell people in our groups and we put, announcements in there that, hey, if you have people doing this, please let us know, because we don't want that type of environment for our people in our Facebook group. Again, we want that to be a nurturing place where we can provide value and things like that. We don't want people coming in and trying to sell on other things and, crypto this, or, hey, this person over here made me $1 million, just last night, and, stuff like that. So again, that's kind of how we attend to those situations.
That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different training.
Yeah, and as your group gets bigger, it just gets crazy with those. I mean, you have the filter keywords, but they still get through somehow.
They do.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I saw something.
Okay.
Oh, what are pain points? Good question.
All right. So pain points are like if you're sitting at a 9-to-5 in a cubicle and you're absolutely hating life, that's a pain point. If you are spending more time working at a job and you can't, be at home with your kids and your family and spend time with them, that's a pain point. It's those points of what I want to do better than this. That is, to me, that's what a pain point is. So if you've got somebody that is looking to better something, that is a pain point. Whether it's, making more money. Maybe they don't make enough money they're struggling to pay the bills or put food on the table, whatever it might be. That's a pain point.
I'm going to broad out with the niches. A pain point is, are you sitting on the couch eating out of the ice cream tub because you just simply cannot find the motivation to get up and go?
Yep.
Yep.
Are you tired? Yeah. Are you tired of looking at yourself in the mirror and not liking what you see? That's a pain point. So it's
two different types of pain points. That's another thing. But yeah. So pain points are what we try to make people realize that they're struggling in something, and we want to provide a solution for that. So.
All right. So here's a question for you, Jonathan. Do you think Facebook group is important?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I always talk about YouTube and TikTok, right? But, just like you guys are saying, like I always get people into my email list and Facebook group. Email list is number one for me personally. But Facebook group, I mean, I could have things like these challenges. I could have these special trainings. I could create and nurture, or I can nurture my audience just a lot different than on YouTube, right? For me, my discoverability is YouTube and TikTok. That's how people find me. But then I can funnel them into my email list, into my Facebook group, just exactly what you guys are saying. But absolutely. And people always say that you should only focus on one traffic source. And I understand that. But for me, a Facebook group isn't it really isn't that hard, right? I mean, people ask questions, they help each other out. I really don't spend as much time on the Facebook group as it seems, right? Because I focus my time on the front end, right? YouTube, TikTok, and then getting them into that group. So, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a Facebook group, you're exactly right. With a Facebook group in the beginning, yeah, you got to spend some time in there. You've got to prompt the engagement. You got to be making the posts and things like that. But once you get to a certain point, you're exactly right. A Facebook group can really run itself, because once you get a certain amount of people in there that are engaging, you could kind of step back because people are in there posting questions and other people are answering those questions.
Yeah, and another thing is, when you're first starting out, I think you guys kind of mentioned this earlier, people ask questions, and Brian actually mentioned this, and you can create a YouTube video about that. And that's what I did in the beginning for me. Like, people would ask these questions, and I would, oh, perfect, I'll make a video on YouTube, and I would send them, inside the group. I would be like, hey, check out this YouTube video I made just for you, essentially, right? But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a great way to get started. It builds that trust with that audience, because, hey, I made this video for you. This is just a question that a lot of people ask, but it's a great way to get started if you're just starting out.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Is sending someone to a free ebook considered selling?
No, you're providing value.
Yeah. Again, yeah. And that's a great way. They always talk about, a lead magnet of some sort to offer somebody, maybe to entice them to give you an email address or something like that. So that's definitely what ebooks are great for.
TikTok. Whether you want to have a professional or a business account, I'm assuming is what you were asking. Personally, we like to do the personal account, not the business account. You're limited with sounds on there. Yes, you have to have. We don't even know. Is it 800 or is it 1,000?
It's 1,000.
Is it 1,000 now? Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're using your strategy, right, you're getting them to your group anyways, or your Instagram, right?
Yeah. So again, in the beginning, it's better to go ahead and grow that. I mean, there's tips and tricks to grow a personal account to 1,000 followers relatively quickly. Most of our clients are able to do it within just a couple of days. But yeah, we definitely recommend a personal account. It gives you more access to that trending music and other things. So,
So
awesome. Was there with a new YouTube channel? Will doing lives along with shorts help grow rapidly, since TikTok and Reels not available there? So I'm gonna have to refer that one to you, Jonathan. We're not huge. We have a YouTube channel, but it's not something that we have focused a lot of efforts on.
Yeah, so with YouTube, the way you're going to get discovered is with keywords. A live on YouTube is more for your subscribers, so you're not really going to get that discoverability. Whereas TikTok, what I've noticed is if you start going live on there, people will start joining you, following you, and then you could get them to your YouTube channel and do your lives there. But essentially, your YouTube video live can branch out, but typically not if you're just starting out. So if you're on YouTube, you want to grow it, focus on long tail keywords, that'll get you discovered. So yeah.
Cool.
So I'm going to assume consistently post on YouTube, put those YouTube channels or YouTube videos out there, provide value in that. And like you were saying, like keywords, focus on the keywords and such like that, which apparently TikTok and Instagram are going more towards that keywords.
Now I saw Google indexing some of those things. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, all right.
There's a few more in there if you want to finish these out, or how do you want to do this? Let's see here.
We could probably sit here all day and talk about this.
Just awesome.
So important.
Are you guys loving this? I'm learning a lot myself. Type in a hashtag bomb down below. This is awesome. And there's a lot of people on here too. We're streaming on 7 platforms right now. So
wow, awesome.
Yeah. Hashtag bomb down below. If you guys want to answer a few more questions, and then we'll have people follow you at the end, and then we can end for the day.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. I do want to say something, guys. Like, whenever you start to do this, and whenever you start to go, live on TikTok, provide that value there too. For us, whenever we went live on TikTok, which is kind of funny, but we would actually put up our email address for people to reach out and email us. and hold that up. And we're like, all right, here it is. Take a screenshot of this. Great.
Yeah, I actually, quick note, I actually had to get on when I printed that up because it's backwards. If you just write something out and you show it on like a TikTok live, it's backwards unless you've mirrored your screen. So I actually went through the effort of typing it up on the computer and actually flipping it horizontally and printed it out backwards so that we could just flip it up. But yeah, we would, in those lives, we would, hold that sign up to let people know that they could reach out to us. And, a lot of times in a live, that's a great place to build more of that relationship and show that you can, that they can trust you by, offering up the value and offering up the ability to be able to contact you. That's huge. Just sitting there and going through videos and seeing people talk about that stuff. But when somebody reaches out and says, hey, you can actually contact me if you have questions, that's big.
Yeah. Somebody asked how much niching down worked for you guys. And what's our TikTok handle? You want to niche down, but not too much, right? Because we still want to be able to hit a broad amount of pain points. And that doesn't matter whatever niche you're working in. But whenever you're in your Facebook group or something like that, and you really want to hone in on an offer, that's when you can really niche down on those pain points and put it there. But again, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, those are platforms that we use for discoverability, not teaching.
Yeah. And also the other part of that is, what's the TikTok handle? It is at Megan.Ryan_recommend.
Yep.
And if someone wants to type that in, I'll throw it up on the screen. With that being said, where do you guys want people to find you besides TikTok? Do you want people to join your group? Where can people find you to get more information about what you guys
Instagram is we're trying to focus.
Yeah, Instagram is great, and it's the same thing. It's Megan.Ryan_recommend.
I see some of our clients in here. Put that in the
yeah, if you guys can put that in there down below. If you guys want to type it in, I'll throw it on the screen. Awesome. Yeah, and I've been actually focusing on Instagram myself, and it's been good.
Yeah. The Facebook group is also great. It's Megan and Ryan's Affiliate Gateway, as seen here on the screen behind us. That's the cover photo. So again, anybody looking for us, reach out. Whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, happy to help anybody that we can.
Awesome. Yes. Well, I'll put the links later on as well to your Facebook group, TikTok, Instagram. If you guys even want to throw it in here, let me see here. I'm
gonna see if we can. Is there a place for us to put a comment in?
I thought you could. Let me see here.
Maybe I read it.
Someone can write it in. Oh, did you get it?
We're gonna put it in the private chat.
I don't know how it works. So I think you guys should actually post a comment to all, and then I could show it.
I can't.
It doesn't have
it won't let me type.
Yeah, there's not a place for us to type in the regular comments.
All right. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see. 1 second. So
no problem.
Or if someone wants to type it in, let me see. Whoever gets it quicker, I guess. Let me see.
John Moore, if you're still in here, type up our username in there. I know he knows it. Let's see. Let's see. Please tell us what we should avoid when we are promoting our product in TikTok. So that's actually a pretty good question. So one of the things that we try to avoid, or a couple of things that we try to avoid when we're creating content, is we stay away from the words like affiliate marketing. We stay away from words like you want to start your own online business. Things like that. Again, we focus more on the pain points than we do on the others because, again, people aren't on that platform to learn about affiliate marketing. They're not on the platform to learn how to start an online business. Most people, if you mention starting a business, they get all wigged out because they're like, oh, there's so much involved with that. It takes so much money to start a business. And that immediately turns people off when you say the words start a business.
Yep.
So even though they may be in a situation where they want to earn more money or have a better lifestyle, starting a business is scary for a lot of people because of all of the things that they think have to go into it to create that business. So again, we stay away from words like that. We focus more on the pain points of Would you like to have more money? You know, hey, Christmas is coming up. Are you set? Would you like to have more, more finances to have a better holiday? Would you like to spend more time this holiday season with your family? You know, things like that. Those are the things that we really try to hit. And again, it's going back to those pain points.
Yeah, that's so huge. That makes such a big difference. I think I see so many people. Hey, you want to learn affiliate marketing? Hey, you want to learn? You want to take the 15-day challenge? Well, no, I don't even know what the 15-day challenge is, right? Like,
and that's one thing.
And all you're going to get is people just scrolling on through.
Whatever you're promoting, whether it be the 15-day challenge, whether it be Freedom Breakthrough, whether it be Bermuda, whatever. Don't put those in your content, because all you're doing is inviting people to go to freaking Google and join it that way, and you're going to lose out on the affiliate links.
The other part of it is, you know, as you're creating this content, it's becoming evergreen, right? It's on there for a long time. So if you switch out your offer, as long as you're in the same niche, it's great. We're still talking about pain points. So if this week I'm promoting, you know, a 15-day challenge, and that's great. My pain points are hitting and talking about that, they can go check that out. But if next week I go and I'm promoting, you know, Freedom Breakthrough, or if I'm promoting, you know, like Megan said, brand building method, or whatever, if my offer changes, if I've put in that content that it's about the 15-day challenge, and now I'm showing them a 3-day challenge, they get confused. And what did we say at the beginning? A confused buyer doesn't buy, right? Totally. So don't necessarily talk about specifics of that product in your content, because then that content becomes irrelevant.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I threw your handle down below, and then what was the Facebook group again?
It's Megan and Ryan's Affiliate Gateway.
Megan and Ryan's affiliate. I'm sure you guys can find it with Megan and Ryan, and then just look.
Yeah.
This is that cover photo. So
that is the same handle, guys, on Instagram too.
Yep.
So
awesome.
We're fluidity.
Yeah. Just search up Megan and Ryan.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, I think people got a ton of value. I learned a lot myself. I really appreciate you guys coming on. And if there's any last parting words, go ahead and say it. If not, we'll go ahead and just get off.
Y'all get to work.
Yeah, you got a lot of work.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed it as well. We appreciate you asking us to be here, Jonathan. Definitely appreciate it. And hopefully you guys found some value in it.
For sure. Well, thank you guys for coming on live. Type in hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're watching this on the replay. And we'll see you guys on the next one. God bless.
See ya.
Bye.